in the house. How are you, everybody? Good evening. As always, those people who watch on the replay or on the audio experience, if you are listening, massive welcome to you as well. We're just having a little chat to the regular guys who are joining us live before I started this scope in the little lobby that we have just whilst people are waiting to join. And we were talking about an interview that I've done recently for Acts on This TV called a guy called George Bukhari, who's an actor who was actually a few years below me at drama school, who's gone on to do great things since he's left drama school. He went on to star in something called Ordinary Lies with Michelle Keegan, Jason Manford, Joe Joyner, Mackenzie Crook, big names like that. He's now filming the second series of The A Word, and he's also got a little writing thing going on that I say is little, but it's actually, I can't tell you about it properly because it's not for me to say, but he's actually just acquired an absolute A-list star of the UK acting industry in something that George has written. And this guy's starring in it, and he's going to exec produce it. So you're going to be hearing a lot more about George over the next sort of few weeks and months. He's going to be doing big things. But I interviewed him over on actsonthis.tv. We had a really candid, frank, honest chat about what it's like to enter the industry, I guess, as a young actor. George didn't actually even finish drama school, which was quite a revelation within the interview itself. I had no idea he didn't even finish. He left in his third year. You can find out all about it. You can find out about how he had to lie to his parents about becoming an actor as well. He lied to them for 3 or 4 years. They thought he was doing business. You can hear all about it. actonthis.tv. You'll see it on the homepage right now, or if you're watching this or listening to it at a later date, just search for George in the Acts on This TV interview section, the episode section, and you'll find it there. A class guy, says Dawn. It's really, really interesting. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. So tonight, guys, for those who are watching for the first time, welcome. I've got a little challenge tonight. My name's Ross. I'm an actor, and I run a website called actsonthis.tv, which I was just talking about. If you've never seen it before, get yourself over there and check it out. Join, completely free to join. There is a premium side to it, which is as little as 10 quid a month, basically. Well, cheaper than that if you pay for a year up front, and money from those premium subscriptions goes to charity. So it's not a big fat cat thing. Ultimately, you get access to some of the greatest casting directors and actors on the planet, and you help me help other people as well. So it's a win-win. If you're not a premium member yet, what are you doing? What else are you spending 10 quid a month on that's going to waste? Booze, I don't know, nights out, Netflix, bullshit that ain't going to help you get anywhere in your career. Quit it, get on actsonthis.tv. Gary, good evening. So I scope twice a week. Did a Periscope last Monday, and I also do one on a Wednesday as well. We do a book club. But on Monday's Periscope last week, guys, we looked at Instagram. All right, and I've had so many emails and tweets and now Instagram messages from people who have said that they really enjoyed that, and they're now starting to use Instagram to get exposure, ultimately gain attention from their own audience that they're building up that might be in or outside of the acting industry, and also people within the acting industry. Because I said last week, directors, producers, writers, filmmakers, sound engineers, DOPs, everybody is on Instagram, whether they are posting pictures of their dinner or not. I know people are moving away from that now into actually tactically posting stuff that's more interesting than that. But it is a massive platform with 500 million users on it, 95 million videos and photos posted a day. And it's got the attention literally of, 500 million eyeballs potentially. So it's super, super valuable. Give me some hearts who've been using it. John, good evening. He's here as well. And give me some comments. How have you found it over the last 7 days? I've been testing some stuff out. I told you I'm going to keep testing stuff out for the entirety of March. And I'm going to share with you some of the best tactics that I've discovered to gain that attention, basically garner that attention onto your account. Yes, and it's bumped my following up, says Fanny. Tony says he posts some of the best dinner pictures going. I love it. Still need to test stories. Well, this is Steve, you're on the right Periscope for this. Needs to hit the video side a bit more. Well, this is the challenge that I am setting you guys tonight, because I've had a lot of people emailing me going, right, this is brilliant. I can see the potential for this. I'm posting a few pictures and I'm getting traction. I'm getting likes. I'm getting comments. People within the industry and outside of it are viewing my stuff. I can see the power of it, but I don't know what to post. I'm getting stuck. And a big, big part of Instagram is Instagram stories. And Instagram stories is a product within Instagram where you can film 15-second bits of video from your phone wherever you are and post it to a story within your account that lasts 24 hours. So those clips stay available for people to watch, follow your life for 24 hours, then they disappear. Okay, so it's quite addictive viewing. If you get people who are posting compelling content, and I'm going to go through what compelling content is tonight, you will find people visiting. I don't know if hopefully you're visiting the Acts on This TV story, quite a bit, because I'm trying to post compelling content on there. I love that because I can do mad stuff and people only get to see it for 24 hours, says Sam. Exactly, Sam. I've seen some of your stories myself. I'm enjoying what you're posting. Joined last week. Loving it so far, says Lucy. Stories is massive. Stories is something that very few platforms have. Snapchat has a story-based thing, and Instagram copied it from Snapchat effectively, but I think Instagram right now are doing it better, and it's particularly more useful than Snapchat in the UK, from what I am seeing in my experience of the UK industry anyway. Tony, Snapchat might be one for you to look at in America, though, because Snapchat is massive in the US. Good evening, Patrick. So I'm going to fire up this slide set for you guys, and we're going to look at a challenge that I'm giving you all tonight, right? And I am coining this the 7-day DocU. So the hashtag is DocU, Instagram challenge. I'm going to tell you what DocU stands for in a minute, but I'm pretty sure you can guess because it's almost a word. But let me get this up. We've done the whole sharing this, but still, for anyone who's joined since we did the whole sharing thing, I would love it if you would share this with your mates on. You'd literally just hit the 3 buttons at the bottom of the screen now, click share on Twitter or Facebook, put it out there. The more people we can get involved in this, I think this is fun. This is fun. Gary says documenting you, ? Gary, you might be onto something there, pal. You never know. That sounds pretty good. But yeah, share this out, guys, if you've not already. Would appreciate more eyeballs on this. The more people we can get involved, I just think the more fun it's going to be for all of us. So thank you, Jen, for retweeting that. So just to recap, again, I mentioned a couple of these things. We looked at this slide last week, but why Instagram and why now? Okay, I just told you 500 million users are on it, 95 million videos and photos shared a day. 80% of users are from outside the US. It's fantastic if you're within Europe. Like I say, Snapchat's massive in US, but Instagram is really big in Europe and in the UK. Users like 4.2 billion posts per day, and posts with at least one hashtag get 12.6% more engagement. We looked at how you can use hashtags last week and what the most popular hashtags were. They were hashtag actors life and hashtag actors. Between them, we had 3 million posts on Instagram right now. Okay, so what's the best content to put out on Instagram right now? Well, since giving my presentation last week, guys, on Instagram, I've had a lot. I must have had a dozen of these this week. Emails from people saying this: I know I should be using Instagram on a daily basis, but I find it very difficult to know what to post. I'm finding it hard to come up with interesting stuff. What should I be posting? And I think people are simply overthinking this element because they're actors and you're all creative and we all like to show off and go, right, we've got to be perfect. People are way, way, way overthinking this. And this is the thing that's going to stop them from ever putting anything out there, okay? So what I would suggest everybody does, and this is something I got from a mentor of mine, who's incredible, and basically said, listen, man, you want to stop thinking about creating stuff. You want to document, don't create, okay? Document, don't create. If you are spending time procrastinating over whether you should post something or not, or you're spending hours trying to come up with something clever, you're doing this wrong. It shouldn't be this hard, all right? The most compelling content you could possibly post is a documentation of the authentic you. And authentic, I've underlined there. It's got to be authentic. We don't want people bullshitting their stories, making out to their lives to be way better than they are. You know what people generally do on social media, on Facebook. I find that, I don't know about you, give me some hearts, but I find it fucking boring. Really boring when everything is so perfect. You know, oh, look, I've spent 50 minutes taking a picture of my perfect dinner and my perfect latte, and now it's fucking cold because I spent all this time photoing it. I see people in cafes doing this. I'm like, drink your drink. The waitress has just brought it over. You're spending 10 minutes setting up some top-down view of your latte next to your sunglasses, next to your phone, next to your fucking book. Bullshit. I don't want to see that. That isn't compelling content for me. What would be compelling if you turned the camera around on yourself and told me why you're in that cafe, what you were doing, who you were meeting, you know, and what impact that was having on your life. So this is what we're going to look at this week, guys, with the sort of stuff I want to see. And I think, you know, I'm just a normal bloke. If I want to see it, I'm pretty sure you'll all find it interesting as well. This is why ultimately reality TV has become so popular. And I know as actors, and this might be controversial, right? I see a lot of people slagging off reality TV. Oh, The Only Way is Essex is taking fucking all the jobs away from actors. Oh, this and that. Look at Kim Kardashian. She's a talentless bitch, and she's now a billionaire because all she's done is some reality TV. Listen to me, right? Regardless of how creative you are and how bad you think that is, the market is the market, all right? And if the market right now is dictating it wants reality TV because that's what everybody's watching, you can argue with that till you're blue in the face as a classically trained actor, and you can sit at home moaning about it, earning no money, or you can give the market what it wants. The market is the market, okay? Part of Instagram allows you effectively to create your own reality show where you can be authentic, show people what you're doing in your life, and trust me, it's fucking super compelling, because this is why stuff like Towie and whatever you have in America, what do you have in America? Thingy Shaw. What was it called? That, not Shaw, that's Geordie Shaw over here. What do you have in America, Tony? That really shit reality program, but it's like quite addictive viewing. Jersey Shore. That might be it, Jersey Shore. Right? This is why it's big, guys, and you can do both. You can have a credible acting career, and you can also document that career and mix that reality TV, which is normally trashy and just pretty bog standard shite. You can actually kind of make it a little bit classier, put it up a level, document your career as a reality show. I promise you, people will watch it. So what should you document? Here's a clip from me today. I was working on a voice. I look pretty weird on that picture. It's not a very flattering still. I was doing a voiceover job today. And when I'm doing a voiceover job, I'm in a lovely studio. I'm surrounded by creative people. So I document that, okay? So working on a job, document your acting gigs, document your VO gigs. You might be going, oh, but Ross, I don't have any VO gigs at the moment. I don't have any acting gigs. Well, that is absolutely fine. Document your boring ass day job that you are determined to get out of. Document the journey. If you're working in a Starbucks, run into the back, turn the camera on you, and tell me how determined you are to get out of that job. Tell me about the customer you've just had to deal with who was good or bad. Tell me about how you are, dealing with the situation you are in and what your plans are to get out of that situation. That's super compelling. I would love to check in on people doing their day jobs on a daily basis, all right? Even if you're not working as an actor, document what you do when you're not acting. Trust me, I would want to watch that. Give me some hearts if you would want to watch that. I would be interested in that. I'd be interested in before and after going to audition, says Gary. Well, we're going to look at that in a sec as well, yeah? Absolutely. On the way to an audition, before you go into the room. I wouldn't do it in the reception when you're getting yourself in the zone, but definitely before you walk through the door to the building. You could say, guys, I'm going in for my audition. Here's the door. I'll fill you in on the, when I get out of how it's gone. I lost my job because of my shoulder, says Sam. Bloody hell, Sam. Sam's broke his shoulder. He's lost his job. Sam, it could be a blessing in disguise, pal. Document it. Document it. That's interesting. So that's the first thing you should do. Acting gigs, voiceover gigs, anything creative, stage jobs, whatever you're doing, but also your boring stuff as well that you think's boring. Other people won't, because it's not that the job might be boring, but you being in that situation you don't want to be in is not boring. That is interesting, and us all watching how you are working to get yourself out of that. I would have loved, listen to me, this is important. I was working a shit job for 11 years in retail. I've told you about my story of how I got out of that and I started working full-time as an actor and VO artist, okay? I wish I could have documented my journey leaving that place, particularly over the last 18 months of me being there. Because can you imagine if I had video on a daily basis, and you can also, I know the stories on Instagram only last 24 hours, guys, but you can download them. You have them on your phone forever, all right? I could have had 18 months of daily hustle, daily grind of me working in that shop and then documenting my story of my way out. I could have had 18 months of that to show my kids. That shit would be around 50 years from now. My grandkids would be watching that going, wow, look at Grandad, man. He fucking works hard. He was in that situation he'd want to be in, and check it out. That would be around forever. Does that not blow your mind to think that? My God, my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids could watch my entire journey of being in a retail job I hated, over the next 25 years to having what I hope will be massive success. That's exciting to me. And you get to do this via Instagram. It is, and I see it as a gift because I can now put everything towards my acting. There you go, Sam. Awesome, man. So document all your stuff at work. Then next, what else? Document yourself trying to book a job, okay? Writing emails. And when you're writing emails and you're documenting that, you can tag people into your Instagram story. So you see there, that's me. I did that on my Instagram story. That's Jordan Hogg, a director from Coronation Street. I started editing his interview that I did with him yesterday. I put there, so the hustle is real, folks. Now on to editing director Jordan's Act on This TV interview coming soon. I tagged Jordan in my story. He will see that now. What about if you wrote a letter, an email to a casting director, put getting my my emails out today. Just drop you a line. I don't know, Andy Pryor, Peter Hunt, whoever's, any of the casting directors that are on Instagram. Tag them in it. It's just another point of contact. Don't bombard them, but now and again that might be interesting. And then document replies that you get. You might then want to put a story out going, awesome, just want a massive shout out to such and such body. Thanks so much for replying. That's quite cool. And then just ultimately anything to document your process of getting yourself out there. Could that be a little bit like sending a text to tell someone you sent them an email? Well, it depends whether they. Sometimes that's quite useful. It depends whether you think that's useful or not. I think that sometimes is if people have got very busy inboxes. I will often send someone an email, and then up until this point, I tweet him to go, Dave, just drop you an email, mate. No rush. Get back to me when you can. It's just another little touch. And I think that can be quite powerful sometimes. Because sometimes I've got 3 email accounts, and sometimes on the Acts on This account, and this is no lie, right? When people say, oh God, I had hundreds of emails in my inbox, this is no bullshit, right? On Sunday morning, I honest to God had 374 emails to go through that had been sent to the ross@actonthis.tv or help@actonthis.tv. And I try and reply to everything. And honest to God, I spent about 13 hours getting all of my, inbox zero, as people call it, as in getting all of my emails done for that day. And a lot of them were only 1-sentence replies. Thanks, even if someone sends me, I just found this thing on your website and I think it's really, really good. Thanks so much. I'll still send them a 1-sentence reply going, thanks so much. Massively appreciate you checking it out. Catch up with you soon. I sent an email to Acts on This a week ago. Thought I'd let you know now. Excellent, Steve. Well, sometimes it takes me 2 weeks to get back to people, honestly. But I always try. I will always get back to people. So I think sometimes if you do send somebody another point of reference, another touch, once you've sent them an email, that's sometimes quite, it's just a bit of a nudge. It can be quite effective at getting somebody to actually have a little look. But Steve, if you sent it, mate, in fact, you know what? I've seen it. You've sent it me about your show reel, haven't you? Absolutely, you have. You sent me your show reel. I'm sure it was something on that, and you said have a look at it. It's in a compartment of my inbox to do. I will definitely. That's the one. He says, "Yeah, you go." See, I told you, I read everything, mate. I know, I absolutely do, and you will get a reply. Anything like that, where people say, "Well, you watch this," I have to, kind of put into a to-do kind of pile because it's not something I can definitely, I can do straight away. So that's another thing you should document. Trying to get yourself a job. This is one of the best things you can document because other people do the work for you. When you meet interesting people, okay, and hopefully. Well, I find everyone interesting, to be honest. There's 7 billion of us on this planet, and I think if you have a conversation with anybody, you would find something of interest, okay? This is a guy I met today called Joe. Joe's 19, he's at Salford University studying media and production, and he'd got up off his arse, and he'd written to the production company I was working at today to go and do work experience there for a week. He did that, not his university. He said, I want to come in and look at what you do in production. So I threw the camera on Joe with no preparation. I went, Joe, give us a tip of the day. And you can watch this on the Instagram story right now. If you follow @ActOnThisTV on Instagram, you can watch this right now before it runs out. It'll expire tomorrow at about 11 o'clock in the morning. And he said, always ask. He said, whatever industry you are in, get on the phone, write an email, go through your friends if they know people, whoever you know, and ask for what you want. Ultimately, we've said this before, haven't we? Life will pay any price you ask of it, but what are you asking for? And so many people watching and listening to this now are not asking for enough from life, okay? Because they don't feel life is going to give it them. Joe's a bit of a go-getter, only 19, loads of opportunity in front of him. And he was like, right, I'll get on your Instagram story and tell people something. Throw the camera around on other people. That's interesting. That's compelling. And it also means that you don't have to do a bit of the work. Throw it on friends, family, colleagues, street performers. Sometimes you walk past. How many times have you walked past an incredible busker? And you're like, man, such and such a body would love this. Well, if that's the case, film it for 15 seconds. I so need to do this. Started a list of who I want to get to know. Awesome, Gary. Amazing, man. But yeah, anyone you meet, seriously. I put there random people in coffee shops. I've had great conversations with people. I've overheard in a coffee shop, and they might be on the table next to me, or they might have been on the phone, they put the phone down, and I'm like, sorry, I couldn't help but overhear that. I'm something to do with what you were talking about, or I've had experience of that. And you meet really good people just out and about. Throw the camera around on them, it's 15 seconds. And then I put that at the bottom, any of the 7 billion of us on the planet. I mean, ultimately, you can do this to anybody, because like I say, there's something interesting about everybody. Document that. Okay, here I am, I've just done this audition, I've met this other actor. How are you getting on with auditions? Oh, I find them such and such and such a thing. Get it on camera, okay? You might help and inspire other people who watch your story. And again, it's you being a part of the industry, and it's just good. It's interesting. I would watch it. Seriously, I would watch it. Other stuff, this is very easy. Your feelings, all right? If you're like, I don't know what to do today, turn the camera on yourself and just tell everybody how you're feeling, what you're up to, okay? Why are you feeling like this? How are you using this feeling to empower you? Even if it's a negative thing, like, got up today, guys, I'm struggling. But I'm reminding myself of the opportunity that I've got, I feel overwhelmed today, but actually I'm flipping that and I'm going to say I'm blessed with opportunity. Okay, I'm just figuring out which things I actually should be doing and which things I shouldn't be doing. And what can we all learn from this feeling? There's a clip of me putting an Instagram story going, I'm going to be challenging you guys live at 9 p.m. on Periscope. I was feeling that at the time. I was like, right, I need an Instagram challenge for these people tonight. So I just put that out. Flip the camera around and just speak. It's only 15 seconds. You don't need to overthink it. And don't forget live as well. This is something I haven't tapped into properly yet, okay? Your stories are pre-recorded, and you can do as many takes of those as you want before you post it. Don't overthink it too much, though. And then you have a live button where you can actually just go live, and that goes out to your entire following. And once you finish the live broadcast, it ends. So it's not like this Periscope that's being recorded. Okay, as soon as I end this Periscope, the recording stays on Twitter, and you might be watching this days or weeks down the line, or you might be listening to this days or weeks down the line on the Act on This TV audio experience. But on Instagram, it goes, it's done. So for a few reasons, that's really good. It means that people, there's a scarcity there. People are like, oh, Fanny Compton has started a new, a new live broadcast. And then people are like, oh, right, what's she doing this time then? Because she's about to be naked in the bath doing something like she was on that improvisation video that she put in the Facebook group, which I thought was very funny, Fanny. So that's, that's interesting to go, right, what are these people up to? Because if I don't tune in now, I've missed it. There is no replay. It also means for you, if you screw up, so effing what? No one sees it again, all right? It doesn't matter, so don't be afraid of that and go, oh, it's got to be perfect. So you've always got live, okay? So, are you ready to take... In fact, I'm not going to show you this yet, the rules. Give me some hearts if you're ready to take the 7-day Act on This TV Instagram Doc-U challenge. Give me some yeses, give me some hearts, because I want everyone involved with this, because I'm seriously, genuinely, really looking forward to just getting to know you guys better. It's not just about always me being on camera and and you watching me. I want to flip that and actually watch you, see behind the scenes in your life, see you as a real moving person as opposed to just a static headshot on here. So I can see yes. Fanny's well up for it. Sam's well up for it. Who was that? I just missed someone else said yes. Awesome. Right. Well, these are the rules. And obviously, I'm going to be doing this on the Acts on This TV account as well. Okay. All you've got to do is this. All right. First of all, I need you to follow me. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to see your stuff. I'm not going to know who's doing what. Follow at Act on This TV. Could there be a winner, says Fanny? Well, maybe. Maybe I'll give something away. If someone does some incredible stuff, maybe I'll figure something out. Maybe we should get like a T-shirt or something to give away to a champion. We might do this once a month. Follow Act on This TV on Instagram, at Act on This TV. It's all you've got to do. That's dead simple. Then you can tune into my stuff. You can look at the stuff that I'm posting. You can comment on it as well. And you can also send messages to people as well. When you can comment on their story. And when you're watching the story, in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see a little button that says Send Message. It's a great way to interact with each other. Send me messages when you watch my stuff. I will do likewise. I did today. Somebody put on their story that they'd booked 2 auditions, 2 out of 2. I was like, that's amazing. That's well worth a congratulations message. It's nice to touch base with people. So second, for the next 7 days, and maybe you'll decide to do this afterwards as well, but for at least 7 days, I will be doing this in perpetuity, really, forever. post 5 to 7. Okay, it's got to be 5 to 7 to make it a full day, really. 5 to 7 pieces of content to your Instagram story, and that's each and every day. That's not across the 7 days, that's every single day. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, I want 5 to 7 pieces of content on your Instagram story. And then all you need to do is tag Act on This TV in your first piece of content each day. You don't have to do it in every piece, but if you tag me in the first piece, at the end of the day, I will be able to go through and watch everybody's full story, because it sends me a message to say you've been tagged in Gary's story, Fanny's story, Gina's story, whatever, okay? So this is pre-recorded. This is on your Instagram story, Fanny. So how you do that is, I bet I can't show you because I've not got a screenshot of Instagram. But basically, when you go into Instagram and you go into your main account, okay, which is the furthest... In fact, actually, I think it might be the furthest left icon, might be to look at the feed, everybody's feed. You will see at the top of the page a load of round circles. And the round circles are people's... You don't have to do any editing, Fanny, no. The round circles are people's stories, so you will see them. When there is nothing new on those stories, the circle won't have anything around it. When there's something new, it will have like a multicoloured ring around it to go, this is new. And it will also push the people who have pushed the newest content to the furthest left, so you'll see those first in the queue. If you want to add to your story, then all you need to do is hit the camera icon in the top left-hand corner and then record your 15-minute piece. And then you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner a little arrow pointing down. It'll say add to story. And it will just post that 15-second piece of video to your story. So this is, from tomorrow morning, or from whenever you're listening to this, all right? I'm recording this on the 13th of March, but just whenever, just do it and tag Act on This TV in it anyway, and I'll see it. So when you've recorded your video, you'll see in the top right-hand corner, I wish I had a screen grab this now. Top right-hand corner, you'll see a letter, which is the letter A, and that's so you can add text. You'll also see next to that a sticker icon, so you can add stickers if you want. And you'll see left to that a pen icon, so you can draw on the screen if you want. You can even add drawing and stickers and writing over the top of your video. It's the video that you should add over the video. And that's where you should put Act on This TV. That will then tag me in your story, okay? So basically, you click the camera icon within Instagram, you record your 15-second piece of video, you click on the text icon, which is a letter A in the top right-hand corner of the screen, and you type Act on This TV, and then whatever message you want for your followers or anybody else. And you'll need to do that in the first piece of content each day. You don't need to do that in every piece, just the first piece so I can see it at the end of the day. And then we'll do that for 7 days, guys, and ultimately document your life and career both, over the next 7 days. So to recap, things I want to be seeing. Anytime you're working on jobs, anytime you're working on, whether that's voiceover, acting jobs, or just boring ass day jobs, that's fine. Okay, that's still interesting. Anytime you try to book a job, whether you're sending emails, you're getting out there, you're putting yourself about, whatever you do creatively to, get exposure, and ultimately book acting jobs. Interesting people you meet, I think, is a great one. It's a really, really interesting one because that adds variety to your stories. Your feelings, and then anything else you think of interest. You can also post pictures to your story. It doesn't have to be a video. You can post pictures as well as video. But yeah, 5 to 7 pieces a day. And I think we'll end up with some really cool, ultimately, reality shows of what it's like to be an actor in 2017, as you guys. I think that's really, really interesting. What do you think? I'm going to come on camera and we'll just have a little chat about it. Everybody up for it or what? I think it's a really, really cool idea. I think people are going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy watching you, like I say. And hopefully you'll enjoy, seeing what I'm up to as well. It's nice to be able to share it in a way that's never been possible before. Twitter doesn't really allow you to do this as easily. Facebook doesn't. I think Facebook has started doing this kind of thing, but I don't think it's as intuitive. Instagram and on this bad boy, when you're out and about wherever you are, it just makes things very, very simple. So yeah, who's got any ideas? Anyone doing anything interesting tomorrow that you're going to document? Anyone going anywhere? Anyone got any auditions, performances? Any plans for anything cool? Because it can be in your leisure time as well, Maybe you're like, right, I'm at the gym, I'm at a theme park. I do struggle sometimes with material, but I'll give it a go. So Steve, I do this anyway to use my time. Love the idea. He's got it updated. So Sam's getting updated headshots tomorrow. Definitely document that. You see now I'm already thinking what I will post because it feels like 7 interesting posts a day. Doesn't have to be interesting in terms of like, you don't have to plan it, Fanny. Trust me, you will end up somewhere. Might share a tip in rehearsal, says David. Yeah, awesome. You will end up somewhere tomorrow where something interesting is going on in your life. And like I say, even if it's just documenting somebody else, can you hide your location on Instagram? E.g., if I'm at home, you don't have to post your location. Yeah, you don't. By default, you don't have to put where your location is. Got a meeting with Justin McDonald for Spotlight career advice, says Nikita. Amazing. You know, well, turn the camera around on him. Get a little bit of career advice for everyone. Everybody can see. Tamir Mua is here. All right, good evening or good afternoon, wherever you're viewing from. But yeah, you will do things that are interesting in your life that they don't have to be the $1 million moments, but they're just like, I'm having a chat here with my friend who is, I don't know, maybe they're a dancer or a makeup artist, or it doesn't matter, a plumber. Doesn't have to be anything to do with the acting industry. They will have something of interest to offer your viewership. Even if it's, just a funny story about something that just happened to them before they met you or something. And we're just seeing what it's like to live as the authentic version of you. This is the key, right? Because it's not about being flashy or fancy or like I've got to portray a particular persona. I want to see the real you. I don't want to see some bullshit, mask that you put on to go, this is how I want everyone to view me, because this is what people are doing on social media that screws it all up. Why so many people are feeling so shit about themselves, because they're seeing unobtainable things on Facebook, like, oh, that person always has an amazing life. They don't. They're just making making that up. Started working at an office job at a theatre, says Gary. Well, there you go. How many interesting people are you going to meet there? Let's document all of those. There's just some really cool things you can do with this, guys, if you don't overthink it. The minute you start overthinking it, you've ruined it, effectively. We want to see the real you. I've seen some great things on Instagram from people nothing related to the acting industry, just out and about doing what would seem normal things, but they're really interesting because it's voyeuristic, isn't it? It's like a little look into somebody's life. That you would never otherwise have the chance to do. Gina says, a bit scary, think my days can be a bit boring. Well, that's you, though. You think that because they're your days that you live every single day. Your days are going to be so different to mine, to Gary's, to Fanny's, to Tony's, everybody else on here. And we don't know you, Gina, properly. I mean, I've spoken to you on the Bulletproof Actor calls, and, I kind of know you a bit better than a lot of people on here. But not properly. I don't see what you're like when you're not portraying Gina, on a call, as opposed to what it's like and, your friends, your family, where you're hanging out, how you're documenting. Ultimately, this is just documenting your life and your career. If I could get someone to follow me around with a camera 24 hours a day for the next 20 years, well, not 24 hours a day because I'm going to be sleeping for a bit of privacy, 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day for the next 20 years, I would do it. If I didn't have to edit all the footage, because I'm like, what a gift that is. That's legacy. What a gift that is for your kids, for your grandkids, just for anybody. That's going to be there forever. You live on forever through that. And if you're aiming, and I hope you all are, to build and live an extraordinary life, because I don't think anyone here is average, all right? I don't want anyone to be addicted to being average, which a lot of people are. As George said in his interview, right? One shot, one life, live with a full heart. When you get knocked back, keep pushing. Hopefully everyone here is doing that. That's interesting to watch. And for your kids to go, fuck, man, grandma, yeah, she nailed it. She knew what she was doing. She killed it that day. Or, for instance, you just happen to document the before you walk into that audition that changes your life. You'd never get to capture that moment again. You'd never get to capture the moment when you leave that audition room again and you're walking on the street back to the train station. You can document that today. And how incredible would that be to go, this was the audition that changed my life. And when you're being interviewed about it, you can go, well, actually, yeah, I've got the footage of me going in and the footage of me coming out and how I felt about it all. Mind blown for me. That's mind blowing. It's exciting. Maybe it's just me. But I find that exciting, documenting. And like I say, I can't say credit for the idea. Gary, mentor of mine, he was the guy who it was like, people need to start documenting over creating, because people are overthinking the creation thingy, the creation aspects of it, which you said you were doing then, Fanny. You're thinking, oh, how can I make it so interesting? Don't have to. Document, don't create. So I want to finish on this, guys. I'm going to finish on a little quote, as we always do. Normally, it's that happiness is found along the way, not at the end of the road, for then the journey is over and it's too late. I don't want you guys, if I can get to the end of the road and go, oh, you know what? I kind of like, I've done it now, and all the happiness in doing it was actually along the way. Who's ever had an audition that's almost changed their life? And in a weird way, this sounds so incongruent with what you would imagine. But in a way, you're almost a little bit disappointed that the fight might be over a bit. That you're like, if I get this, like, everything's going to change. It's happened to me a couple of occasions. I'm like, oh, no, like, if I get this, like, wow, like, this, I know that sounds so weird, because other fights, you know, and other things you aspire to be would be at that point. But I'm like, almost, I love the process so much that I realized quite a while ago, it's not about the end product. The process is so much more enjoyable than the end result. You know, saving up as a kid to get something, sometimes the hustle and the saving and the getting that, you know, pound every time you wash the car or whatever was more exciting than going out for me as a kid and buying the computer game. Like, oh, I've done it. The thing I was working towards and I was so, you know, so dedicated to, well, that's kind of gone now. What's next? I just love the process. I think when you can fall in love with the process, you've won, because you're like, you're never chasing anything. You're actually enjoying what you're doing right now, as opposed to going, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I get that job. I'll be happy when I get that car. I'll be happy when I get that house. I'll be happy when I found that person. Nah, you're waiting for permission to be happy when that's the case. Handed on a plate is just boring, says Dawn. It is, Dawn. You know, the work, ultimately the work, when you can enjoy the work, you can enjoy what you do, it ain't work any longer. And that for me is ultimately, you know, a big part of my life. Is like, I love what I do. I'm so happy right now, like always, because, you know, I've not achieved, God, I don't know, 90% of what I want to achieve in life. I'm just scratching the surface, and I work harder now at 34 than I ever worked at 24. And I hope at 44 I'll be working harder than I am at 34, because a lot of people like want to go through their life and then retire at 45, 50, 55, 60. I just want to do more and more and more and more. And that, yeah, I don't know, that for me is the key for why I'm, you know, I feel fulfilled. This is what actor inspiration coach Wendy Braun is teaching this month, being happy now. Ah, there you go, Tony. It is, it's about, we read the book at the moment. We're reading this book, The 5 Top Regrets of the Dying, on the Wednesday night book clubs. And this is, the regret that we looked at was, I wish I'd allowed myself to be happier last Wednesday, because it's a fucking choice. It's an absolute choice. And when you can enjoy the process, you're going to be happy. When you get up every morning, you're like, right, you know what? The problem that I'm looking at right now as a problem is actually just like, you know, quite an exciting challenge to overcome. And I'm going to enjoy figuring out whatever tactics I need to figure out to overcome this problem. Because you're going to have problems for the rest of your life, guys, full stop. But the key is to aspire to have better problems tomorrow than the problems you're experiencing today. You know, that's it. But you're always, I could give you £1 million right now, $1 million to Tony. I'll give you $2 million because of the exchange rate, Tony. And the problems you wake up with tomorrow, some are going to be the same as you had today. Some of today's will have gone, but you'll have new ones tomorrow because I give you that £1 million. They might be higher quality problems, but you're still going to have problems. So when you can actually look at those as opportunities and kind of gifts to overcome and challenges that should be fun, that's good. I'm excited to have this shoulder healed and film my show reel. Can't wait. Yeah, there you go. You know, and it's something, and that's something that will help you fix your shoulder as well, Sam, because if you've got a goal you're working towards, then you're going to want to do those exercises. I saw you doing those exercises on your Instagram story. And again, you might have thought, God, this is boring as shit. I'm just showing people my you know, exercise I've got to do to rehabilitate my shoulder. Being someone who has never broken their shoulder, you know, and is also quite interested in biology and the body and how it mends and how you can, you know, build a better you, I find that interesting. Living your life being true to yourself. Do for grace. says Gina. So Grace is in the book. So in book club, yeah, Grace. We looked at Grace and Rosemary. So Grace was an old woman who lived with a tyrant of a man she was married to. Is that what I think? This might be what you mean, as opposed to Grace, as in being graceful. But yeah, Grace lived with a tyrant of a man for all her life till she was about 70. He ended up going in a home. She was like, "Oh, I'm free from this guy." She got diagnosed with terminal illness. She lived like less than a year. Don't be Grace. Live a life true to yourself. Live the life you want to live, not the life you think others want you to live. Can you... Gina was talking about Grace. Good. Someone's asked if you can share your Instagram stories on Facebook. Yes, you can. Now, how you would do that is when you have recorded your story at the end of each day, you can go on... When you click on your own story, at the bottom of the screen, it will show you who has viewed your story. So it might say, act on this TV. Plus 57 other people have viewed your story today. When you click on that, it will show you a whole list of people who viewed your story. Now, on that screen, top right-hand corner, you will see a download button, like an arrow pointing down. Click on that, and it will save your entire story as one complete video to your camera roll. You can then upload that to Snapchat or Facebook if you want. I've done it a couple of times to show people on Facebook what I'm doing on Instagram, to go, guys, come and follow me on Instagram, because I'm not going to post it all the time on Facebook. It's an exclusive for Instagram, and I want people who are on Instagram to see it. I don't want to have to put it on Facebook, otherwise there's no reason for people to follow me on Instagram. But for a couple of times, it's useful to do that, to go, guys, this is what you're missing out on, and this insight into my life and what I'm doing that might help you if you're not following me on Insta. So get yourself on Insta. But you can download the stories, and within Instagram settings, you can toggle a little switch as well that says every time I create a story, save it to my camera roll as a separate piece. So if you want to regurgitate content and put it in multiple social media platforms, you can save it to your camera roll and upload it instantly to somewhere else. I think that's useful if you're on Snapchat and Instagram, because both platforms for the story aspect work the same. You don't want to have to record two videos. That can be useful. But ultimately, yeah, guys, let's do this challenge, all right? 7-day docu challenge. Document you. Gary, you're right. That's why I did it. Document you, your life. I want to see more of that because it's interesting. I'm fascinated by people. I think we're all so incredibly unique. Even if you don't think you are. I've said this before. This blows my mind as well. Mind blown again. Your DNA. How many times have I said this? Never existed until you were born. When you die and you leave this earth, it will never, ever, ever exist again. It's that unique. Out of 7 billion people, there's not a single person on the planet with your DNA. And when you are out of here, that will never be on this planet again. So do something fucking with it. Like, use it. Because you are unique. Whether you think your life is boring or not, it couldn't be more unique. How do we tag it in our story? You put an @ sign and then start typing the letters of the person you want to tag. You have to be following that person, I think, for it to come up. Can't hear the reminder enough, says Tony. Yeah, it's powerful, isn't it? Powerful. So yeah, you would tag on Instagram exactly how you tag on Twitter. I think you probably have to be following the person, though, in order to tag them. You don't have to be followed back by them, I don't think, but you do have to follow them, I think, for it to autofill who you're actually tagging in your story. So I hope that's useful, guys. Definitely follow Act on This TV. I've still got this little Instagram promo. Here's a little promo of well, you won't hear the audio on a couple of these stories, but this is why you should follow me. Well, it doesn't really show you. That's a bit of a promo, but watch this. There you go. Little reminder at Act on This TV. But yeah, follow us and let's watch each other document each other's lives. I think it's interesting. Awesome. So yeah, I'm going to end now, guys. I'm going to finish on though a little clip, a 1-minute trailer of the interview I just did with George Bukhari. George, who was an actor, like I say, I went to drama school with. He graduated 5 years actually after me. I went to the same drama school though. Great actor, been on a personal journey over the last 4 years, losing 11 stone in weight. In that time has worked on big shows like Happy Valley. He starred in Ordinary Lies with Jason Manford, Michelle Keegan, Joe Joyner, Mackenzie Crook. And now he's gone on to film the second series of the A Word. He was in the first series. He's just had a writing project of his commissioned with a huge name in it, who's going to exec produce it and star in it. The guy's like super talented guy. Get to actonthis.tv to watch it. You can watch a 17-minute preview completely for free. If you want to watch the entire hour and 5-minute interview, where George tells some incredible stories as well, guys. I said at the beginning about how he had to lie to his parents. So he's from an Asian background. He's like, my culture doesn't, my stepfather told me that acting was like prostitution. I can't go into this. He had to lie to his parents for 4 years about going into the acting industry, told them he was doing business. He talks about what it was like working with big names like Sarah Lancashire, on Happy Valley, like I said, Mackenzie Crook, other mentors of his. It's a super compelling interview. If you want to watch it all, you need a premium account on actonthis.tv. Premium membership is £10 a month or £90 for the entire year. The money from that revenue doesn't go into my pocket. It goes into running the site, and it goes into charity donations that every guest who comes on the site gets to give to a charity of their choice. So George also works for a children's home called Choices Children's Home. He got a donation to that charity for coming onto the site. That's how it works. So it's not like Spotlight or all these other companies who just obviously coin in millions of pounds. It ultimately helps me when you sign up for a premium membership. It helps me get more guests on because I can offer them bigger charity donations, and it helps me to help you help other people. So it's a proper force for good. And like I say, if you're not prepared to spend £10 a month to get access to 130 hours worth of interviews with the biggest casting directors in the country. I mean, literally everybody. We're talking like Daniel Edwards, who cast Mr. Selfridge, Jill Trevelyan, who cast Downton Abbey, Victor and Kelly, who cast Broadchurch, Andy Pryor, who cast Doctor Who, Lewis Arnold, the director of Broadchurch. I mean, everybody who's fucking anybody is on that site. And if you're like, no, I'm going to go and spend £10 a month on fucking sweets or coffee or whatever and not buy into this for your career, then I think you're a losing player. Harsh, but I just think it's true. I think people, should be lapping this stuff up, and it does. Like I say, the money goes to help other people as well, but it also helps me to get more people on the site for you. So sign up. It's an awesome thing to do. You'll be helping everybody out. So check that out. I'm going to leave you with this 60-second little preview. Give me some. Well, tweet me after this at ActOnThisTV. If what George says, even in the 60-minute preview, resonates with you. I think we've all been in situations like this, all right? So thank you so much for watching, guys. Everybody on the Act on This audio experience, massively appreciate you. The audio experience, guys, by the way, is free on iTunes and Stitcher. It's a podcast and also the audio from all these Periscopes that I do. You can get that on iTunes or Stitcher by searching for Act on This TV, all one word, on iTunes or Stitcher. But I'm going to leave you with this clip of George. It's only a minute long. Appreciate you, and like I say, doc you, all right? I want to see all your Instagram stories over the next 7 days, because I will. Maybe I will do a highlight reel next Monday. I don't know if I can record your videos. Maybe I can, but that will be exciting to maybe show you some clips from what everybody's been posting. Thank you, Gina. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Fanny. Thanks, everybody. Steve, Gary, everybody. Here it is. I'm going to leave you with George, all right? Bye for now.
And then when I went into the room, I sat there, and then Mackenzie Crook sat opposite me, and Michelle Keegan's there, and Jason Manford's there, and Sally Lindsay's there, and Joe Joyner's there, and I thought, wow, okay, I'm really, really out of my depth here. How am I going to handle this? When you walk away and you think you've absolutely nailed that audition, and you think to yourself, oh God, that was the best audition I've ever done in my life. And I've had some of those moments.
I've had that, exactly.
And then the phone will ring and you think, what did I do wrong? Do you know what I mean? Everything's possible, but you spend so much time doubting yourself. You can't doubt yourself. You have to do it, because you live once, and that's it. And you should do things with a full heart, and you should just push. You get knocked back, push again.